We've come to a refuge for veterans in the remote town of Taos. Cian Westmoreland is just 28, but he's seen more of the world than most do in a lifetime. A former technician in the US Air Force drone program, he now helps out at this place for those bearing the scars of America's wars.
Coming here and working with the lands, it's therapeutic in the sense that, you know, when you are in the military, you're using your creative energy for destruction.
We head out to one of Cian's favorite spots, the Rio Grande Gorge. Our own drone keeps a watchful eye. The spectacular landscape has echoes of Afghanistan, where Cian served in 2009. His job was setting up communication systems that underpinned drone missions, channeling that creative energy into what he came to see as a vast killing machine.
There's so much death and destruction that is happening through these communications that you set up, and yet you kind of go about your daily activities totally unaware of what's happening. It's extremely dangerous. It's dangerous when war can become an office job.
Cian eventually received a report saying he'd contributed to more than 200 kills. It was meant to be an accolade, but it set off a chain of events leading to his decision to speak out, as well as guilt, depression, and nightmares.
I'd see like a kid sitting over her mother, and her face would be caked in blood, and I would just end up apologizing to the kid and saying I'm sorry, and then I'd see the kid she would just walk away from me. She'd have fear in her eyes, and then there would be another explosion and I'd wake up.
The drone program is meant to keep US forces far from the dirty business of war, and it's expanded hugely and secretively under Barack Obama, from Afghanistan to Pakistan, Yemen, Somalia, and beyond. Thousands have been killed, with many civilians among the dead. Just how many is hotly disputed. Obama has now introduced guidelines for the future, but for Cian, a fundamental problem remains.
You're eliminating people with no threat to yourself, and some would call that assassination, or some would call that execution. I wouldn't call it execution, because execution implies that there's actually been some due process in the being conducted, and there's not, so I would just say it's assassination.
But military drones weren't always killing machines. Back at the Respite Center, Cian meets up with its director, Don Peters. He was involved in the early surveillance drones, the ancestors of our own machine.
It was not used to be destructive. It simply had on their eavesdropping equipment and cameras. And I don't necessarily agree with arming them, but humans are going to be devious and come with all sorts of intriguing ways to harm each other. I don't think that the technology is ever going to stop that.
But Cian says the next leap in technology could be uniquely dangerous. Autonomous warfare, where drones are powered by artificial intelligence.
I met one person, and they compared the idea of autonomous killer robots to demons in the end days, because they don't question, they just do. I mean, I usually try to stay away from making these analogies, but I mean, who knows?
Does America want this to be the future of its warfare? It's a question Cian says the nation he helped kill for must now face up to, whoever wins the White House.